Hello, it's time for another episode of Discipleship Today. My name is Bob Benson. I pastor Christ Lutheran Church in Greenhurst. We've been working through some texts talking about discipleship, what it is, what it isn't. And we're in the book of Titus. We've gone through 1st and 2nd Timothy. We've gone through the book of John. But we're looking specifically at these letters that Paul wrote to young pastors. And that's discipleship. We all need disciples and disciplers in our lives. That's how the whole model was set up. Jesus had the 12 that he discipled, and they went out and changed the world. And he expects us to do the same thing, not discipling just ones and twos, but pouring into people that God leads into our lives. I'm going to read from chapter 1, verses 5 through 9 from the English Standard Version. This is why I left you in Crete, so that you might put what remained into order, and to appoint elders in every town as I directed you. If anyone is above reproach, the husband of one wife, and his children are believers, and not open to the charge of debauchery or insubordination, for an overseer, as God's steward, must be above reproach. He must not be arrogant or quick-tempered, or a drunkard, or violent, or greedy for gain, but hospitable, a lover of good, self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. We must hold firm to the trustworthy word as taught, so that we may be able to give instructions in sound doctrine, and also to rebuke those who contradict it. The whole idea here is Paul is encouraging Titus to set some things in order, to build a church structure, and that church structure is very easily laid out. He starts with the overseer, or what we would call today the pastor, steward of God, above reproach, not arrogant, not quick-tempered, not a drunkard or violent, and not after greedy gain. These things are laid out for us so that we could set standards, so that we can put things in order the way Paul did and the way that God had taught Paul to do it. It's an encouragement to us when we have people around us, when we have choices. And when those choices fall into these situations, we need to encourage men to live this way to become leaders in the church. And I really believe it says there they must be disciplined. Disciplined is the same root word as discipled. We must be discipled. How do we learn? It's when we learn from others, when we learn from their mistakes, when we learn from their successes. And although God hasn't called each and every one of us to the same life, he wants our lives to look the same as we follow Christ. And that's the whole goal. We're discipled to look more like Christ. When we say the word Christian, we're claiming to be a little Christ. So that's the goal. And you need to be hanging out with people that can make you look more like Christ. There's a verse in the Bible that tells us that bad character corrupts good morals. Sometimes who we hang out with can change who we are. And you all know exactly what I'm talking about. There are people that we hang out with that make us look worse than we are, and there are people that we can hang out that make us look better than we are. And I'm going to hang out with those people that influence me for good. So for discipleship today, my encouragement is to find people to be discipled by that you want to look more like Christ, and find people that want to look more like Christ and hang out with them. So for discipleship today, my name is Bob Benson. Thank you for watching.